Welcome to the Crest Effect, the show for B2B brands who want to grow.
In each episode, we are going to be deep diving into all things branding and marketing that actually builds and drives trust.
Sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Hi, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Naomi, and this is the Crest Effect.
So, Nay, what are we talking about today?
Well, today, Lauren, we are going to talk about clarity and messaging. Is that right?
Yeah, I think what we wanted to, this came from a real story, right? So we have a client who we've been working with for a long time, but when we first started working with them, what we really found was one of their biggest issues was they had lots of marketing, they have lots of collateral. It was everywhere. With a lot of words on a page, but those words were not aligned, right? That messaging that they were trying to showcase was not aligned. Yeah. But before we get into that, let's jump back. What is messaging? Okay, so messaging, messaging can really involve a lot of things, but if you get down right to the simplicity of it is what you're wanting to say to your audience in a nice, clear, concise way that they really understand. Yeah. So, and I think that they continue to take away, right? We talk about key messages. So specifically in a campaign, if we're running a campaign, there's some specific things we want someone to take away from the marketing that we're producing. Yeah. And so sometimes people think that it's like everything. I want to tell clients everything all at one time, and it's like, cool, but no one can take all that information in. No. So you need to be concise and specific about what it is you want to talk about first up. And that would be what we would call, again, key messages. And then think about how do we wrap those key messages in a way that then resonates with our target audience.
Cool. So explain to me exactly what you mean by a key message.
It's what you really want your target audience to take away from the information that you're sharing with them.
Okay, so tell me then why exactly is key messaging important?
Yeah, I think that it's really important to be able to have your audience take away the information that you want them to learn. And what we find is that when you're not using consistent messaging, so over here you're saying one thing, over there you're saying another, on your website you're saying this, on your social media you're saying that, people get lost. They don't know what you're actually trying to tell them or what they're trying to take away from it. And then they turn off because they're like, oh, well, that's not for me. But actually it probably is for them. But we're not reinforcing the information that we want them to learn.
All right, so let's take our client on board as the example. So I guess before we kind of came along, it was too much, right, as you mentioned. So in that regard, a lot of the time we say, content, and you want to content is king, right, in a lot of cases. But in this particular case, they had a great amount of content, but it was quite confusing. Yeah. So talk us through what we were able to help with in helping to, I guess, create some clarity and bring that chaos, I guess, into control. Yeah, look, surprising, we actually did a strategy. I know, I'm just shocked. But we did a strategy and that really helped the client, I think, zone in on who their target audience was and what we wanted to say to that target audience. And then from there, when we continually created content that spoke the language of showcasing who they were to their direct client, then it made sense to them. And not only that, we've seen a massive spike in their engagement and also the knowledge and understanding of who they are and what they do. And what they do is so important for our community, but not necessarily everyone understood that at the beginning, but that's really the transformation, I guess, that we've seen through that process. I don't know about you, Naomi, but you know that I get bored very easily. And so I feel like sometimes we're just being super repetitive. We're saying the same thing over and over again, both for our work and our clients' work. But what I've learned over the years is actually we're not being repetitive. We're reinforcing those continual key messages that we want them to learn. And that's for a couple of reasons. One, not everyone is going to see all of your content all of the time. And so if I do a message here, on topic A, and then tomorrow I do it on topic B and topic C and topic D, who's going to see topic A and what do they need to know about that? So we want to make sure that topic A is being continually showcased and shared throughout our whole journey, because I guess that's another topic we're going to talk about later on, but customer journeys and what that means for your customer. But I think if you can start to really work and focus on what are your key messages internally, what are the 3 things, start with 3, start with 1, what is it that you want your customer to know? And then how do you weave that into every piece of content you create from now on moving forward? Be that a PowerPoint presentation, a website, a social media post, that is the key message that you want them to learn about.
Yeah, I think that's really important, because I think, something that, let's say a website, for example, whether it's a website audit or whether we're building out a completely new website for a client that's come on board as a marketing partner, I think time and time again, we see businesses making the same mistake, particularly say with a website, that there's a lot of information, and sometimes the information is really good, but it's not clear. No. It's not clear in what they're actually doing or providing for that person, for their audience.
Yep.
So I think, you're right.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times when you're writing something, you think, if I put more words in here, then it will make more sense.
Yeah.
But actually, it's the hardest thing to do is boil it down to like 3 words or 5 words, and make it a bullet point. And then from there go, okay, great. How do I now elaborate on this around that central core 3 or 5 word bullet point that you've created?
Yeah.
Bullet points is my favorite way to write anything. No, he's laughing because it's true. If I start with bullet points and outline the key things we want to talk about, then I can craft a story around what we need to share. But if I don't do that, then I think we all get caught up in waffle. We get caught up in talking, but actually what's my point? I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I think, going back to, I guess, the website example of that is, I love that bullet point, advice actually, because I think, I don't know, when you're landing on a website, like that's prime real estate, right? Like that top section. And I think you've got to have like that number 1 bullet point really in that messaging as soon as you land on that website. And it's incredible the amount of businesses that aren't actually doing that. So when, to capture that person's attention, you've got like 0.0 of something in a second. It's ridiculous. For them to really to understand what it is you're doing. So I like that. My husband at home, I get one of his pain points with me is I waffle. I get, I'm a very emotional person. I like to share my emotions, and that's something, when I'm trying to say, like, teach the kids something and I waffle, my husband politely at the end of it kind of goes, you've lost them. You've totally lost them. All you need to, just tell them what the problem was and then move on. Yeah. And I think it's the same, right? So, yeah.
Okay, guys, let's recap on this waffle that you just heard. So I think there's a couple of stages that you need to go through. One is you need to write out and plan, surprise strategy, on what it is that your key messages are. You then need to consider how are you going to implement those into your business. Now, in our instance, we like to do that through content, but it should be something that you do all the way through your business, including your service, all that kind of component as well, not just marketing. Implement that into your business. And then third stage is to then reassess. Is that resonating? Look at your metrics. Is that resonating with your audience? If it isn't, maybe you need to go back to stage 1 and really look at your strategy and who you're targeting and what your key messages are.
All right, so it is now action item time. Mm-hmm. We like a good action item. Mm-hmm. Lauren?
Yes.
Let's talk through. What are we wanting our listeners to do right now? So we want them to decide on one key message.
Yes, one key message.
And what are they doing with that one key message?
Okay, what they're going to do is they're going to write one bullet point, 3 to 5 words, no more than 5 words, so you can get really clear and succinct on what you're trying to communicate. Mm-hmm. And then from there, we want you to implement it into 5 pieces of content. We would like you to tag us, if it's social media, tag us in those. I'll also share them with us. We'd love to know what you're doing and how it's resonating, because that's really the end goal, right, is how is it going to resonate with your audience? All right, so that leads us into what our next episode's going to be about.
Look, guys, I'm going to be honest. I don't know what it's going to be.
We haven't written it yet.
No, but what we are, I mean, we're all about collaboration, right?
Yes.
So we want to like give back. So tell us, drop a comment below or DM us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Email us. Go on our website and fill in our contact form. Get in contact one way or another and let us know what you would like us to talk on next.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think...
Top comment wins, yeah? We'll do it.
Ooh, what do they win?
We'll win the podcast.
Oh,
We'll
great.
talk about it.
I mean, maybe we could throw something out there and win. Maybe...
No, we're not there yet. Okay, cool. See you later.